Hey.
Happy New Year!
Oh my
Happy New
goodness.
Year,
I haven't seen you
everybody.
guys this last year.
Wow.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Gee,
Welcome
festive
back,
as always.
everybody.
Yeah.
I know. This is more replay people because we got somebody in. Say Happy New Year. Come on
Happy
in.
New
Happy
Year.
New Year. Happy New Year.
So, Rebecca, take it away.
All right. I am your co-host, Rebecca Reese with the Carnivore Family.
Oh, we freezing up.
Oh,
Am I
and
freezing up? I feel like I'm freezing up. Oh, because I'm next. So, hey,
Yep.
everybody, Happy New Year to you. Haven't seen you guys since last year, and I am your co-host, G Brown, the Lifestyle Changer. My channel is Hanging with the Browns.
Yeah, Happy New
Rhonda,
Year,
I knew I should have
everyone.
took us out of order, huh?
May this new year bring you closer to your health and wellness goals. So I am your co-host, Rhonda at Carnivore Leo.
Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody has a wonderful new year. And I hope that carnivore is something that you're going to try this year, especially this month. My name is Laura. I'm your co host, and I am Healthy Carnivore.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's Robin Heron, your carnivorous grandma here. So glad to see you guys back again, and Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that you will try carnivore this year. January is World Carnivore Month, so it's a great time to get started, and we are looking forward to hearing from you about how your carnivore is going this month. I want to remind you guys that today is the first Monday of the year and also the first Monday of the month, and we will have a giveaway during this show. So you could win. We're going to give away a coffee mug. Look at those. Aren't they just so lovely? Thank you to G for those. In order to get your name in the drawing for one of these beautiful coffee mugs, you can share and like this video. So you have to be present to win. So I'm sorry for those folks who are watching on the replay. We've already given away the coffee mug. So please drop it in the chat. Let us know that you have liked and shared, and we will add your name to the spinner. And G's going to spin it at the end of the show, and we're going to give away one of these beautiful coffee mugs. So your name is going to go right into the drawing, and at the end of the show, you will receive we'll get your information and be able to send you your coffee mug. So exciting, wonderful things happening at the beginning of January. Also want to just ask you guys to be able to go ahead and submit your questions. You can submit your questions into the chat, put a QQQ. Also tell us about the goals that you're setting and sharing your New Year's celebrations that you have just done. What have you guys been up to? I mean, in this very few minutes of the new year. So let us know, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Today is a day of reflection. We're talking about reflecting, renewing, and roaring into 2024. So we want to just talk a little bit about our highlights and achievements from the past year. So for me, I have been carnivore for 313 days today.
Awesome.
I just recently did my 300-day video and talked a little bit about all of the benefits that I've seen. So many health-related benefits that I have seen. But one of the really cool things was that I had an opportunity to go to the Chicago meetup. And I always talk about that because that community piece is so significant to me. I always talk about the fact that a lot of times when you're carnivore or even keto or ketovore, you're the only one in your immediate circle that is in that space. So just being around a bunch of like-minded individuals, a bunch of people who are interested in carnivore, who maybe hadn't even started yet, but yet they were looking forward to trying to find out some more information, get to meet us, and learn more about carnivore. So that was pretty awesome. That's one of the really great opportunities and memorable moments that I had during the course of 2023. Also, I started a nutrition class. So I kind of want to look towards becoming a life coach or a health coach. Haven't really decided which one yet. And there's a few of us that are interested in going in that direction right here on this show today. But, so I started a nutrition class and I'm learning more about what is it that we're being taught in our regular normal society outside of the carnivore space, where we're all listening to all these YouTube videos. We're hearing all the influencers that are talking about carnivore all the time. It seems fairly normal to me at this point to be a carnivore. But when I look at what I'm being taught in this nutrition class, I'm like, okay, I can see why people are so scared, to try it. So, starting that nutrition class, just getting my head around what is it that is being taught in our society today about health and nutrition. And then, of course, realizing that a lot of the things that we're being taught are just backwards and upside down of what the actual truth is. So that has been something that has been really, really noticeable for me in 2023. I can do hard things. So, I mean, I've given up coffee. I've given up sweeteners. Those things have been challenges for me. And I still continue to deal with some of the, I want some coffee. I love coffee. I just like it. But, doing hard things and facing these challenges this year has been really empowering for me. So I felt very, able to control my own self, you know what I mean? So that's something that is kind of new, and I'm very, very excited about it. So those are kind of my reflections upon my last year. I'm not quite a year yet, but I'm heading toward that carniversary, and I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to hand it over to Laura.
Thank you.
About her.
Yes. Yeah. So the highlights for myself for this year, really for the most part, wasn't even highlights for myself. I did lose 5 pounds that I wasn't even trying to. I went down a pant size. I didn't even realize. I went to pull out a pair of Levi's one day from the closet. I had them all hung up in there. Didn't even look at the size. Went to put it on. And I was like, oh, well, that's a smaller size. And I was like, I didn't even realize that. But yes, you guys know, if you've been doing this your whole life, dieting, you have every size of jean or pantsuit or dresses, you have everything, even underwear. It's like, throw that away. I'm never going to fit back in those for sure, either directions. But the highlights that I have had this year is now I have 2 ex-diabetic patients. It gives me goosebumps, actually. And both of them are men. And I don't mean to sound like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But men tend to be a little bit harder to change, I think. Like when I worked in the cath lab, like I said before, they'd come in having a second heart attack, and then they'd be like, I think I'll quit smoking. And a female would come in with just angina, not even a true heart attack. They're like, I'll quit, like right away. So I've been really happy. I'm working with 3 other diabetic patients. One's on dialysis. And her doctor is actually on board with starting this slowly with her because we don't want to overload the kidneys. And I'm trying to tell him protein doesn't really overload the kidneys. I know that's what you've been taught, but that's okay. So that's really kind of been my highlights. And plus the other part is meeting people and becoming friends with you guys. Because I live in such a small area. Everybody around here thinks I'm the crazy carnivore because they're like, every time we see her, she's carrying in a deer, or lugging in some kind of beef or carrying around a package of fat. And they're like, wow, that lady is nuts. So that's also been the highlight for my 2023.
Are you turning it over to
Rhonda?
Okay. Very good, Laura. That's amazing. Congratulations, you and
Thank you.
All on your accomplishments. So my personal milestones, first of all, I'm going to say tomorrow is my 1-year carniversary.
Yay!
So it's been a year.
Congratulations.
So I'm very excited about that because this is the first time in my life from trying various diets that I was able to stick to something this long. So I just love how simple and easy being on carnivore is. So my personal milestones were, of course, being medication free. That is, if that was the only milestone I have, that was so worth it. And then as a nice benefit, I lost 80 pounds total since not since
That's amazing.
carnivore, but since my highest
Wow.
weight, 80 pounds. And how I've grown, I think physically I've grown because prior to carnivore, I hated exercise. I barely wanted to walk. I'd be tired just walking down the street to go check the mail because, being almost 200 pounds, that, just walking down the street wears you out. So, after a while of being on carnivore, even if you don't like exercising, it seems like that's just something that naturally happens. So I naturally wanted to exercise and walk, started to sprint. So I feel like I'm stronger and could see my muscles developing in my arms. My husband, sometimes he'll tell me, you look like you're getting Michelle Obama arms, because I do exercise with my free weights, and I'm really loving the way they're shaping it. And it's all mostly from just eating meat. I don't exercise extensively. 3 times a week, I'll do the weights, sprint 3 times a week. And then I try to walk every day for at least an hour. And that's all really that I do. So I feel, those are like amazing growth right there. And of course, I've had other benefits that I noticed along the way, as far as like my dental, when I go to the dentist, my gums no longer bleed. I feel like I've always slept well, but I feel like I even sleep deeper now. So I didn't even know it could get any better than that. So those are just some of the things that I've noticed. And my memorable moments, I don't have too many that I could recall, but I think the first one that comes to mind is when Carrie from Homestead How asked anybody in the community to just go ahead and be brave and get your video out there to him. To me, that's my most memorable moment because that's my very first video. And then the next most memorable moment is when G asked me to join these wonderful FeLions. So I'm just so grateful for them and the carnivore community because everyone I've met in the community has been so friendly and so supportive. So those are my memorable moments. And with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Rebecca.
Thank you. That sounds awesome. I would definitely say on the list for me also has been meeting you guys. I started my channel this last year. We've been carnivore for a little over a year and a half. And the beginning of last year, I was like, I think I'm going to start a channel and just talk about this with families. And what's been the most amazing part of that is meeting the other carnivores of people I've interviewed with along the way. And but all of the messages that I get from people that will watch the videos and talk about their kids and what how it has changed their families or their lives. And so that is so impacting as well, because it's a lot of like, okay, this is not just an anomaly for my family. This is very universally thing. And hearing from people that did this even decades ago before we had a name for it, that they did it. Like there's several, usually stories of people with kids had extreme health conditions. And so they were trying just like anything to try to improve the lives of the kids, and finding out that a diet very similar to this made a world of difference. And so that's just, I don't know, it's something that's just continually exciting and affirming. With my family, we have seen this is our first full year. We went from, beginning to end as carnivore as a family. And we went on vacation as a family and road trips. We were gone for 2 weeks and we stayed carnivore the whole time. We made runs to the store. We cooked at the Airbnb. We made jerky on the way or before to take on the road, and we lost weight. We went on vacation and we my husband and I lost weight. We came back And we felt better than when we left because we got exercise and sunshine. We spent all of our time on the beach with the kids and fishing rather than hunting down something to eat and trying out all the restaurants and looking for snacks and all of those things that just seem fun on vacation, but they just drag you down. So we're just seeing our whole lives kind of transformed with that. This is our second Halloween that was carnivore with my kids, second Thanksgiving, second Christmas. And it is like old hat now with the kids. We go someplace, they're just sort of like, all right, what are we going to eat? Oh, look, there's a meat and cheese tray and there's some ham and somebody's got some, meatballs, and the meatballs might be a little questionable, but it's New Year's. We'll eat the meatballs. And if they taste weirdly sweet, you only eat one or something, but they're just like, we don't go to events looking for the next snack or the next meal or the next binge. We go to hang out with our friends, and so it has become a lifestyle for us. And that is probably the most fun and is exciting, is this now kind of old hat for our family. So that I look at that and it makes me feel really, just feels really good as a mom, seeing that they are content and happy with the way that they eat.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right. So in January of 2023, I was not a carnivore. Not at all. And I shared this, I think, on a social post that in January, I was close to 200 pounds. I think I was on my way back up, because keep in mind, I had went to the gym and had lost 10 pounds in 6 months with the personal trainer and everything, because I was trying to eat small portions and continue with the things that I wanted to eat. By February, I was introduced to intermittent fasting. And then that was that next thing that I tried. And I think that's what really brought me down to the like 192 was the intermittent fasting. But once again, still eating the wrong food. So even if you turned around and did a bowl of fruit, where most people would think, hey, that's pretty good. No, that was not pretty good. Then by April, no, May, look, I'm going to yell at him. It's May, isn't it? It's 218 days ago for me. I then learned about the carnivore diet. I want to say May 26th is the date. And then life started to change drastically, meaning because in January, Frederick was on and off between a cane and a walker. But by January, he was on that walker. And then I think my most memorable moment of the carnivore diet was watching my husband sprint. First of all, I didn't know that joker could run that fast.
Only if he's in trouble.
Right. So it's like, okay, if somebody get to chasing us, hell, you finna leave me because I'm not that fast. So yeah. And that is that thing that really sticks with me. And it's that thing inside of me to want to tell people. It's like, listen, this man was on a walker. He now sprints, runs, whatever. And that is remarkable for me. And so now I'm going to switch it over into where I'm going with this, and you ladies can jump in. Yep, May 26th. Thank you, honey. And let me just say a couple of things real quick before I tell you guys where I'm headed to. On the screen, we have a couple of mugs that we are giving away. The only thing you have to do is share this live and like it. So give it a like. And I want people to know that I have been starring your comments, and I am going to bring them on screen. So it's not like we are ignoring you. Jasmine, Kathy, as a matter of fact, it's some stuff for you, Laura, a question directly to you. So keep those things coming in, guys, and we will address it. The next thing I want to transition to is today is Monday. It's January 1st. It's Monday. It's everybody, let's start a diet day. And some people might say that's just too much for today. I'm going to start tomorrow. Some people are going back to work. For me, as you guys just heard, Rhonda is sprinting, Robin is sprinting, and it's like Laura's telling you her pant size have dropped. Well, I said I was going to be 150 by December, and I achieved that goal. As a matter of fact, on the carnivore diet, I got down to 141. But I want to be like my high school weight. So I want to drop another, I'm back up. I'm about 145 now. So I want to go down to 125. And you ladies, let me just say, you have really, really encouraged me along with the new year, where I have a sweatsuit, meaning the plastic ones, right? So I've been putting that on, and between the treadmill. So the treadmill, I warm up, and then I'll hit at first the 5, and then I'll run with that, and then slow it down, and then next the 6, I'll run with that one, and then slow it down, and then I did the 7, and I said,
Whoa, that's fast.
Hold on. Too fast. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready. So I had to slow that thing back down, because that 7, I said, maybe this is how Rhonda is doing it. You know, outside it just seemed different, but I feel that I'm a little safer right now, because I don't want to trip and fall. And I can grab that safety bar that's on the treadmill. And so we have the yoga ball. Y'all, let me just tell y'all. So I'm leaned back on that yoga ball, just really tighten the muscles. And what has worked for me, I put my music on, and the songs was like 4.5, almost 5 minutes, right? So I have to do that exercise for that amount of time. And so whether it is that crunch, then I get on the bench upstairs, and we have a weight. I thought it was 10 pounds. It was 15. And I said, well, no wonder that thing hurts so much. So I'm doing my arm lifts, y'all, and I'm doing my crunches. And then on the stair, we have a step in that room, and then I'm stepping up, stepping down, stepping up, stepping down. And I have to do it the entire song. Step up, step down, step up. And then I have this little $50 little Stairmaster type thing. And it has those bands. Y'all, I'm getting down to that that 125. Thank you for everybody saying go, G. I'm telling you. So that is the thing that has really inspired me to go forward. And I got a couple of things over here, but I'm going to wait, because I'm going to kick this back to Robin so she can tell us where you headed, Robin, for this year.
So I have a few things that I'm working on. First of all, for the month of January, I'm starting off the month of January with a fast. I'm doing a 5-day fast starting tomorrow. So I'll be fasting until Saturday. As a matter of fact, I just turned my fasting app on for 120 hours, and it said, you'll finish at 6 p.m. Saturday. I was like, oh, okay. So, we do a spiritual fast with my church every year, 21-day fast. It's typically an intermittent fast, but I decided that, I have done some extended fasting in the past, but it's been a while. So since I started carnivore, I haven't really done any fasting. I've just been feasting. I've been letting my body have whatever it wants, as long as it's meat, So this 5-day fast, I'm looking forward to some, kind of mental health benefits, some spiritual relationship benefits with my Lord and Savior. And of course, autophagy, and then I'll go into the rest of the 21-day fast as an intermittent fast. So that's the big thing that I'm doing for the month of January. As far as my goals and objectives for 2024, I really want to continue to work on my YouTube channel. I was talking about to my husband about this today as we were talking about what our goals are for the year. And I think a lot of mine has to do with building my YouTube channel, giving out great quality content that people are interested in seeing, and continue to educate and inform. I think it was Frederick that had a question there that was asking me, how am I going to encourage people?
Okay,
And this
hold
is
on.
the
Let
way.
me go back.
Yeah.
Let me go
So,
to him, and since you're going to address it, and that's good.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let me put it up. Oh, I might already. Oh no, here it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So how do I plan to win people over? And that is by sharing my story. I mean, my testimony is what I have, right? I'm not a doctor.
I think he's talking about, because you and I are in the same class,
right?
And
Yes.
he sees my information, and I think that's really where he's
Yes.
coming from,
Right.
to ask you. I want to hear it too, so I'm gonna use that because we're in the same class. Go ahead. Well, how are you going to?
Yes, so I do plan to share some of that information that I have gotten out of that class. I was thinking today about a series of videos on those 7, I think, lessons that we had, a series of videos talking about what I learned, and basically debunking some of that stuff. Some of it was good, but the good is mixed in with the not so good. The falsehoods, basically, that we're finding out are just absolutely not true. And so I do plan to do some of that, but basically my testimony is what I have, right? So this is what I'm sharing, because like I said, I'm not a doctor or a nurse like Laura. She's got that background in education to where she can speak with authority about these topics, right? So, I'm part of the grassroots effort that Carrie Mann was like, start your YouTube channel that Rhonda just talked about, right? Start your YouTube channel and be part of the grassroots effort to get this message out here. So that is my objective. So a big piece of what my goal is for 2024 has to do with my YouTube channel and making sure that I continue to bring content that people are interested in, that brings value to your life. So that's one of the things. Also, again, I'm working toward becoming a life coach or a health coach. I'll continue with some additional nutrition courses and things like that, and trying to, get myself in that vein of becoming more knowledgeable as far as what's being taught around these topics. And then perhaps becoming an actual certified life coach, which is what I'm thinking about doing. But it costs a lot of money, y'all.
Yeah.
It costs a pretty penny to become one.
Yeah.
So particularly, in this space. I do want to continue with my sprinting. I actually tweaked my knee. So you guys all know that I have this bone on bone with my knee. And so for the last couple of days, I've been kind of hobbling around, but I think I'm going to go ahead and get on the Peloton because I have a Peloton spin bike. And that's a little easier on the knees than running sprinting. So while my knee is tweaked, I will go ahead and get on the Peloton. So that will be starting tomorrow.
You'll probably see great improvement with that 5-day fast also.
I hope so.
Yep.
In Jesus' name.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm addressing that visceral fat, which is so unhealthy for us, around my middle and the love handles on the sides through sprinting. So I will continue. I'll continue to do sprinting. So, all right, Laura, you're up next.
All right.
And Laura, I'm going to actually put this up. So while you are, real quick, how Tracy had put in, and this is just what you're talking about, Robin. She's retraining her brain from all that she's been taught over the years, and she's going to give carnivore a real chance this year. There you go. The best way to share the power of carnivore is to do it and people see it. And then I'm going to put this question up for you, Laura, because it is addressed to you. So while you are, can you see it?
I cannot read it. It's too little.
So when you're ready, let me know and we'll read it to you. But go ahead and let us know what you got going.
Okay. So for myself, exercise has been a part of what I do, and I do something every single day. It doesn't mean that it's anything super intense. I do the running, yeah, I do the sprinting 3 times a week. I do arms and different type of stretchings. Other days I do kickboxing. I love to lift weights. I love to try to keep my upper body, my lower body's fine. I mean, you walk around carrying, enough weight, you're going to have muscle there. So I'm not worried about that. It was like my upper body. So I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to really kind of hone in um, educational stuff that I want to put together for my patients and for their doctors and their families, because I am so involved with a lot of their families. We're fortunate the area I live, a lot of people will have multi generations in the same house, which I love. I love that. Because when you're educating grandma, you might be getting the son and the great granddaughter or granddaughter. And so I kind of like that. And they all like to ask questions. The other stuff that I'm doing this year is I did an interview with Adam on Carnivore Today, which he's going to edit his stuff or whatever, and it'll be put out sometime this year. So that I think is pretty informative. And then Dr. Baker, I'm being interviewed this Friday, but he will edit that. Thank you. He will edit that as he does his videos and then put it out there. He probably going to have to do a lot of editing because I know I'm going to have trouble because the community that we are in, he's a doctor, I'm a nurse. We know what we were taught and we know what we've truly seen, and it is infuriating. And I have to always kind of calm yourself down, little Mufasa, whatever it is, to not get too riled up. Yeah. So that, and then also on the 9th, Carnivore Hunters, one of the brothers, I think his name's Rick, we're going to be doing a live together all on cholesterol. And it's basically the lies of cholesterol. And we have lots of studies and things that they've been out there, and that's my thing is I always want all the truth to be put out there and then you make your own decisions. That's the whole reason I don't watch the tube, is because I don't want somebody telling me how to think, what to think. I like the old Walter Cronkite days where just throw out the information and I make my own decisions. And I want people to have that same option with this when it comes to really, this is healthcare. The way you eat is healthcare. Your car is your temple, and do you want to do things that are going to make it sick? I don't want to, and I want to try to help other people see how important it is, because you live one time, and I want to make it the best that I can. And I'll be 53 pretty soon. I'm not going to say how soon, but pretty soon. And I'd like to have at least another 40. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for this year. Just at least the first half, and who knows, there might be some more things out there, but the more people, I want to reach as many people as I possibly can. So you can go ahead, and if you'll read that question, I'll go over that.
Okay, also, let me just put this part up before I read that. She also says, I also have noticed a lump over the kidney area. She's seeing a doctor Thursday morning. Now, I'm not in the medical field, so I'm getting ready to mess this one word up. So Laura recently had my blood work drawn, something going on, I think, with my kidneys. My question is, what is Apollo-Poppin protein B? So whatever that word is. And then she says on this, that's the question, number 160, really tired.
Yeah.
First of all, what's the word?
It's alpha-poetin B. So it is part of your lipid. You can have, there's A and B. It's also has to do with your kidneys, stuff like that. But I mean, I don't think I've seen numbers a lot higher than that. She possibly, once she sees the doctor, she could have what they call she could have a cyst. It could be a pseudocyst. But just like some of my patients that are, I mean, they're truly on dialysis. Their kidneys are not even functioning, or maybe I think one of them's got 5%. Um, and eating the proper human diet should never, it's never going to be something that's detrimental. It may be hard. It may, you have some side effects that you are like, ooh, I don't like that, but that's because you're getting off of the junk, you know, when you're cleaning out the poisons of the body. It's just like kidney stones and gallstones. People are like, oh, I started keto or carnivore and I got those. No, you already had the stone. You're now using bile and the stones are getting smaller and it's getting stuck. It's not that they weren't already there. They were there because the reason you built stones is because on the standard American diet, you don't require bile to break down all the junk because it's basically been pulverized to death and it's basically a sugar. So you don't require it and it just sits there and turns into sludge and stones. So I think this diet would be safe to definitely try. I would definitely get some blood work. You know, I think Dr. Berry somebody has a guide out there that has like all the different blood work. Yeah, that you should, I would start with that. And then after about 6 months, I would continue that. And I hate to say this out there because you want to be able to be 100% honest with your doctors. But you don't have to tell them every single thing. So because in my, you know, background, I remember, you know, my doctor told me I was going to die of fat A when I told him, and that was keto, which isn't as, you know, hardcore as what carnivore is. And I was 20. I mean, I was very impressionable. I was not near as mean as I am now. And, you know, that could have ruined me. I could have just dove right back to the brownies and the French fries and the Doritos. But it actually lit a fire under me. And I was like, I'm going to prove you wrong, mofo, you know? But I really think this is what I would do. If I'm going to a doctor, I mean, you want to tell them, I've changed my diet. I'm doing some different things. I want to see how I feel. You know, can I have some blood work done ahead of time? That's what I would do. And then do it again in 6 months. And good luck on that. Hopefully it's just a little cyst. It's not uncommon to have those. Sometimes it's even a pseudocyst. Yeah. Yep. And so, you know, a lot of times cleaning up your diet and getting rid of all that inflammation is going to help.
All right. So there we go. And then Jasmine says she's joining in on a couple of BBB and E challenges to kick her year off. So I'm behind that one. And we got a couple more comments, but we're turning that over now to Rhonda.
Me, yes. So setting intentions for 2024, I think I want to just move to the next level. I am going to start the lion diet.
Yay!
I think, you know, to optimize my body. Yeah, I've heard so many good things about it, and I just think it would just optimize me more. And then if I reintroduce a food later, then I will truly know if that food affects me or not. So I'm gonna start that. Actually, I'm going to do a 72-hour fast first, and then like to reset my body, and then start right into the lion diet. I did all my grocery shopping, so I have enough meat for the whole and fat for the whole month. So I'm good to go. And as far as you know, intentions, I want to say this too. I saw my local farmer Saturday when I bought the meat from him, and he just surprised me. You know, I never tried to get him to do carnivore, but he said he and his wife are starting carnivore today.
Yay.
And so I'm hoping that I influenced him some kind of way, because I did interview him, you know. And I'm just very happy, and I wish him and his wife, you know, success. And I didn't know if he did any research or watch how many videos he watched, but I did send him Dr. Berry's, I think it's the 10 tips to, you know, to start carnivore. It was very thorough and informative. I think everyone should watch that video before they dive into carnivore, so they know what the expectations are, and, you know, what their maybe withdrawal symptoms from oxalate dumping or what have you. So I'm very excited. So as far as my intentions. I want to reach more people, I guess, by being an example, and more people that actually really know me, and try to, may not force it on them, but hopefully influence them in a way where they will want to give carnivore a try. And since it is World Carnivore Month, this is the perfect month, I think, to, just ask folks to give it a try. So that's my plans. And of course, I'm going to still continue to do what I normally have been doing with my exercise routine. And I guess I'll let everyone know how the Lion diet goes, because that's the most restrictive of this keto diet. So I'm really hoping to actually optimize my body and feel even better than I do now. So
tell me real quick, what kind of exercises besides sprinting? What is and you? Oh wait a minute, you did say and walking. Okay, you did.
Walking, lifting weights, the free weights, and I still do squats and the planks, but I don't do them every day. Like Laura, I do something every day. But even if I miss a day, I'm not so regimented where if I miss a day, I feel like I have to make it up. Just kind of trying to be balanced about it and not over exercising, because over exercising will put more stress on our bodies. So trying to listen to our bodies and be intuitive that way. Sometimes I feel like I need a rest. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to push myself to exercise so hard every day. But as long as we move, and walking is the easiest of all the exercises, it can just after dinner go for a stroll around the neighborhood or do that maybe a couple times a day. And those steps add up, because without even trying, I get over 10,000 steps a day. Going to the grocery store, walking around, those all add up.
Now, I do want to say something about what you just said. I forgot which doctor it was that talked about after you finish eating, don't go for that walk, because because what they said is once you eat, now your blood, everything goes here and your digestion is working. But if you decide to start walking or exercising, then now you're redirecting it to that area. See, I've always said, oh, let me walk this food down. No, you need to just at that, if you're going to do it, try a couple of hours later. Then way, your body, everything. We don't want that to come off.
Hey, Dee.
Yeah,
I think it depends on the exercise too. So, like if you're going to do something super strenuous, like say you're lifting really heavy weights and that tears muscle. So with that, I think you do need to eat a protein pretty quickly, because protein does take a while to break down. But like just your normal, I think you'd be okay to wait the 2 hours, because that's about what time frame it takes. And it does. Your stomach does take the majority of your blood. So, but I would say it kind of depends, and everybody's kind of different. I'm somebody, I love to work out fasted, but then I usually will go ahead and go eat. If I am lifting really heavy that day, I'll go make 3 egg yolks and some ribeye fat, and I'll eat that within 5-10 minutes of getting done to replenish, those stores that, you've damaged the muscles. To rebuild
that's
that.
fine, because you're putting the food at the back end. If you eat, then go ahead and give, because all of your energy, your blood, everything is there doing what it does. And then if you add something, now you're redirecting it, and so it's not breaking it. It just made it, and it really did make some good sense to me. And I remember, let's go for a walk. I need to walk this food down. No wonder I wasn't losing weight. Okay.
Well, look what the lions do. They eat, and then they're crashed.
Baby, knock them out.
I don't do it immediately after I eat. I didn't mean to give that impression. No, I never exercise right after. But like an hour or so after, I may go for a walk. But walking is not strenuous. But I only work out. I only sprint and work out with weights on an empty stomach. So I
Yep.
do that before I eat, just like
Me
Laura
too.
said. But going
Yeah.
for
Right.
a stroll, as long as you're not power walking, just going for a
Right.
stroll, I don't think that
Yeah.
interferes much with the digestion. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But I wanted to throw that in because I
Mhm.
wanted to just, I don't know if
Yeah.
it was Chafee or well, Dr. Chafee. I don't no disrespect, or Dr. Berry. It was one of
I
them
don't
that
know.
said that. But
Mhm.
okay, I didn't mean to.
Okay.
Go ahead, Miss Rebecca. You've been sitting just patiently, girl. Let us hear from you.
All right. I love goals. I am one of those people that tends to set lots of goals really high and really optimistically. So I'm trying to find that nice balance of also being achievable, because I got my life goes in a lot of directions with 8 kids. So, and a husband. And so goals that I think I'm really going to try to focus on is, one is I need to refine the way I eat just a little bit. And I've because I would like to lose about 20 to 25 more pounds. I don't really know what the ideal weight is for my body, but I'm not there. And I've been pretty stagnant for maybe about 6 months, interestingly enough. So just wanting to play around a little bit with some of the things that might help my body optimize better, whatever's going on. So one of those is really focusing on ruminant meats as like 80% of what I eat, if not more, meal wise, because it is easy to quickly eat. Like, for example, because of all my little kids, like I make big batches of like chicken, for example, like chicken legs. I'll throw them in the air fryer, and then there's pretty much always chicken legs and thighs available to eat all day, so that my kids can always have something to grab and munch on when we're in a hurry. And it's so easy to just grab and eat those. But I know if I eat a lot of that, I don't feel as well. I don't have as much energy as I do when I eat
Yep.
ruminant meats. And so the last couple of weeks, I've been really focusing on making that my meal, and mostly eating most of it at one meal, because I've never really done the one meal a day. And I'm not trying to be really rigorous about that. But I think I still might be. It's one of those things that people argue about. Can you overeat on a carnivore diet? Can you be intuitive eating? And I'm kind of delving into looking at that. Is that a thing, especially if you're someone who's come from being an overeater chronically for most of my life? And I think that I do overeat, because there's often things like something that, like the chicken with a nice crispy skin and some butter on it, like that always sounds good. It doesn't matter if I just ate a pound of steak. I'm still like, I can have 3 bites of that. It just,
Mhm.
so I'm working on trying to make one meal my focus, and stop kind of the little bit of the snacking, even if it's carnivore snacking, and see if that helps kind of jumpstart some of my weight loss again. Because although I feel great, I know I will feel a little bit better if I reach that goal. And it's so that's something that's been on my mind, is just trying to refine that system a little bit. And along those lines too is getting my strength training like routine really solid. Like, I have been off of it for a while, where it's been just really erratic. But I have a nice it's called a tonal. It's a nice strength training machine at home, and I want to do that. There's like no reason not to do it 3 times a week. Besides, I just don't prioritize it, and I always feel so much better when I do, and I miss that. So that's a big part of it personally. For my more broadly speaking, I am looking to develop much more of an interactive carnivore family community, a place where families can talk and interact with each other and have conversations and troubleshoot. And so I'm looking at the best ways to really help foster that, because with kids, there's not going to be a one size fits all where I can say just feed your kids this and then they'll be like that, because I mean, we're all coming from different places, and we're having to troubleshoot our ways of eating, and kids are going to be like that plus 1,000, because it depends on their age. It depends on what they're used to eating. It depends. What do you do about school? What do you do about, grandparents that think you're crazy, and, all of those kinds of things. And so I think a lot of people would really enjoy being able to have much more to bounce off of. So if I can find a way to cultivate that. And then my other goal that I've been thinking around is I would really like to sometime this year plan some sort of meetup like event in Nashville area, because I think there's a lot of people that
We'll be
that would
there.
be a reasonable travel distance. And
Yeah.
I don't know quite yet what that would look like, but I think that would be really, really fun to get a group of carnivores together. And I know there's several of like, obviously it'd be great to get Dr. Barry's in this area. I can't remember. There's the cooking guy that's in Nashville.
Chris Cooking Nashville.
Thank you, Chris Cooking Nashville. I just there's quite a few personalities there too that could. I think if we could get everyone together, it'd be
Awesome.
nothing but awesome. So that's probably my big goal. Like, how you just set like
don't
small
make
goals,
it in
achievable
August.
goals, big goals. Don't do August.
Don't do August because we're doing that carnivore cruise in August. So
Absolutely.
So don't do August because Frederick and I would love to come to your
Awesome.
area.
Reality for me is it'll probably be in
I'd love to
summer
come.
once we have some breaks from school requirements, like when it's hot, unfortunately.
Okay, well, before you move on, let me put this up. You got a question here. Question. This is I suspect I may have a hernia, but what is that? Hiatal hernia.
Hiatal.
Here you go. Acid reflux is worse than ever. Should I back off of fat and red meat until I get diagnosed? We're all shaking our heads no.
Nope.
And I saw someone in the comments tell you no. All right, Laura, go ahead and reach that one.
Well, for one, I'm going to see if I can show you how to do this. There is a exercise you can do after you eat. Even if you just think you have a hiatal hernia, you can take your thumbs and put them right under your breastbone. Like if you were going to do CPR on somebody a little below that, and you actually put some pretty decent pressure, and you'll sit there and you'll do about 8 to 10 times of pulling down. And what that does is that pulls the stomach down and the esophagus back into place and allows your muscles to come back over that. Okay. It's your diaphragm has opened up too much and it allows the stomach to come up. So it's not that you have too much acid in your stomach or your meat isn't doing what it's supposed to. The other thing I would maybe do is I would eat smaller amounts, kind of be like G, where she, had the stomach surgery, and not eat big amounts. And I would definitely not eat within probably 4 hours of going to bed. That's always, whether you have a hiatal hernia or not, you could have a weak sphincter if nothing else. And I think that will get better, but I would continue to do that and avoid any drinks around your meals. Don't drink anything with it. And I would try to avoid an hour before and an hour after and let those enzymes do their job.
One of the things that I've been hearing recently, and Laura, you just mentioned this about not drinking with meals. That you really should not be drinking any water or any liquid with your meal. You should.
Yep.
And I always drink when I'm eating too. I mean, it's like I've always grown up like having a glass of water with my meal or whatever, when I used to drink pop or whatever. But now I'm hearing a lot of people saying, matter of fact, I think it was Dr. Chafee, Dr. Kills, and Dr. Boros that were on last week that were talking about this, that you shouldn't be having any liquids with your meal.
Well, I think people, if they think back to, like, say, when they were eating the standard American diet and having acid reflux, they're drinking, sometimes a 16-ounce pop with that. That's carbonated on top of it. And you just don't break. I mean, your stomach has acids in there and the enzymes to do their jobs. And if you water those down, they're not going to work to their level. And a lot of people, I think, have been treated for years with like omeprazole and protonics and stuff like that. And I would probably go out on a limb and say that 85% of those people did not have too much acid. They actually didn't have enough. And what they were having is almost like what they call gastroparesis, which is where you're not breaking down your food. Diabetics get this a lot. They're not breaking down the food, and so the food sits there and putrefies, and that's kind of what comes back. So I think if people would, and I had to mindfully stop drinking water with my meals years ago. And I just was like, I feel crappy when I try to drink my water with that. Plus, I'm like, if I'm going to eat a whole steak, I don't want to ruin any space in there. I want it all to be steak and fat.
Yeah, and that is the premise of, because that's what I was saying with Frederick. It's because he eats and drinks. I don't. I didn't do that even before carnivore, even before any of that. When I ate, I ate. That drink would sit there, and for me, and then if you drink soda, the carbonation, when it hits this acid in the stomach, it does that. And so a lot of times you can take in more food, not realizing it, because the stomach did expand with the carbonation. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there and your stomach is overstuffed. And then of course you can work with the acid reflux. So hopefully some of this did help you guys. Wait, what is this? Carnivore family. I can't find your live channel. They hit the like button. Laura,
it's
and
not streaming live right now.
Thank you. Then, she said she'd been on carnivore over 3 months, lost 23 pounds, 40 more to go, was pre-diabetic, but now normal. She fell off the wagon before Christmas. A lot of people did, don't worry. Had lots of sugar, but now she's dealing with acid reflux really bad. I feel that sometimes, when I hear a carnivore talk about going on a fast, I'm like, I know you got it, because you don't get that what we used to get. And so, but if you ventured off with some of the sugar, go ahead and do a reset. Go ahead and do your.
I would fast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I
fast
would.
and yeah.
And even just a 24-hour or 48-hour fast to kind of reset everything is what I would recommend for somebody that's fallen off the wagon and having those acid type things. Reset, let the body kind of get back to its homeostasis and then start again.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Rebecca, do you want to share, or you want Laura to go ahead and wrap it up?
I think I can share really quick. I was wanting to just at the end here set up kind of a fun challenge for everybody, is to make your carnivore vision boards. So vision boards can be a thing for setting goals, but this one really focused on your carnivore visions. This could be everything from maybe just something to do with your health or weight loss, just some sort of imagery about maybe like a health that you're trying to cure, or it might be just simply visions of beautiful pieces of meat cooking, just to remind you what your goals are every day, because there's nothing more appetizing than like a pretty sizzling steak just sitting up there being like, oh my goodness. And we want to see these, I don't know if you watch my videos, I have sizzling meat all throughout it. That's how I cut from scene to scene, because it is yum. I don't like, it gets me excited. I don't know why my phone has like 1,000 pictures of cooking meat on it, because it keeps me excited. It keeps me motivated. So, that's what we want to see. So I'm going to put out a short on my channel that just showing, I'm going to have kind of like a visual, a video kind of version of that. I'd like to challenge these ladies to do the same, to put a short out on their channel of their vision boards. And then we would like everybody listening to this to do something like that. And you could either publish it on YouTube, or if it's just want to take a picture of something and send it to one of these creators here, and we will show them on the channel next thing, and so we can see what people are excited about. And so maybe that's just simple. It could be just as simple as a picture of beef, butter, bacon, eggs, if that is your focus for this going on, or it could was whatever it is. You don't have to be super like fancy creative. This is not, just keep it simple. If that is what makes it workable for you. That's the beauty of this way of eating, is simple works just as well as anything else, if not better. So that's why I hope everyone just something to just get us excited, something you can look at,
I love it.
keep you motivated.
Oh yeah, we'll most definitely
Love that idea.
share
Yep.
that. Share it most definitely.
Yes, yes.
All right, Miss Flora, go ahead and
All
wrap
right.
us up.
So I'm going to summarize kind of what I feel like we went over today. I feel like every one of us had really great improvements over this last year. All of us kind of, it sounds like our main goals are, of course, our own health, but it seems like we all, every single one of us said how we want to reach these other people and help them see how many people we can get, you know, to even just try this lifestyle to see what improvements that they can have. Some of us came, I think, carnivore or being in this community helped them get out of their shell, and they're very good at what they do now. And so I like that. We're all very self-driven, and you know, it's all in different ways, but we are all self-driven, and I think that is something extraordinary to teach. Like Rebecca has 8 kids; they get to see how self-driven she is, you know, and how self-driven their dad is. You know, we have grandchildren. The rest of us, I think everybody has a grandchild. I'm not sure if Rhonda does, but you
No,
know,
not yet.
not yet. Okay. But you know, and so I think it's great to get some of these younger kids to see kind of what we're doing. So I feel like that's something, and we've all kind of learned over the years and to how to listen to your own body. And pay attention to little things. Like Rebecca was saying, how you're like, I'm going to change this up, tweak this up, and see if this will change what I'm doing. And that's the best thing, is to learn to listen to your own body versus, no offense of going back to the doctors and dogging on them, but you know, going and having them tell you to live out of a bottle for the next 40 years. I'd rather listen to my own body and see if what I do, if it works, you know. So I think we're all kind of like that. I think we all have great goals that we will achieve this year. And I am very happy that you guys have watched this video, whether it was live, whether it was on replay. We please ask you to like it, share it, subscribe to any of the ladies here, or all of us would be great, because we're all good at what we do. We're a little crazy, but we're good. And then don't forget to come back next week, because next week is a feast of gratitude. That will be what we will be going over. So all of you guys, I hope have a wonderful first week of January, and we will see you next week.
All right, Rhonda, go ahead.
I just,
Close us. Go ahead.
sorry. I was just going to say, I just wanted to add that the carnivore news that you can use will resume next week. And I think I'm going to talk about the new free carnivore app that's available on iPhone and Android.
Oh,
That's being launched this month, World Carnivore Month. And then I
nice.
also want to wish everyone again a new happy new year, and send positive energy out to everyone in this carnivore community. I thank you all for tuning in and watching us and supporting us. It really means a lot. And I do wish all of you success and satisfaction on your health journey. So
Let me
just
do
want
the
to again
spin for
express
the
my
win.
gratitude to each and every one.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, so I have a black mug and a white. Look how I do that. White mug and a black mug that's going out. And so far, the 3 people, it was Jasmine, Tracy, and Frederick that shared this out. And so, is there anyone else that shared the live and not on here? Because I think that I have. And here we go. The spin. And there it is. It says Jasmine. Jasmine, make sure.
Yay. There you go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yep, hold on. Let me see here. Hanging with the Browns at gmail.com. But it's just the oh, Kathy, my bad. Kathy, be on here Monday, and we do it on the first Monday. And forgive me, I did not see where you had put in shared, and I was trying to type in also who was on there. So Jasmine, there is my email address, hwtb at gmail.com. Send me your information so I can ship this out to you. Yes, 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 yes. And I feel bad because I mean it's free. So oh, okay. James Gibson would have never figured that out on that name. All right, guys. Thank you all. Hopefully everybody had a good time. Thank you for spending your New Year's Day with us. We're coming back. Now, I actually did have a surprise for y'all, but I'm going to save it for next week. All I'm going to say is this was part of it, and so was this. But I'm going to save it for next week to show you what Laura now has us doing. Okay? So I love you, ladies. I love being on this panel with you. Everyone has something different to bring to the table. We hope you guys enjoyed us, and we will see you Monday at 7 p.m. Bye, guys.
Bye.